it is subconsciously very actively shaping their perceptions, their ideologies, and in turn, it's actually dictating their behaviors, how we receive information. How easy is it for Pakistanis to accept that anything that goes wrong, if the politician comes on this, takes the stage and just says, "Okay, oh, it was an Indian conspiracy," it's so easy for us to actually do that. And why is that? It's partly because the groundwork has already been laid out, and it's through textbooks that this framework is being laid out in the minds of young people.
It's what they're learning through history books. It's what they're hearing from their politicians that conditions the hostility they have towards one another. And the only way to break that down is to have them, actually see and talk to each other and do business with one another. Sort of notice that these boundaries are artificial.
What about changing the minds and hearts of the people, and how does that happen? I think creating grassroots empathy is part of that equation, and I believe that stories do that. When you hear identical stories from people across the borders and you say, oh, well, they're just like me. They suffered like me. They were happy just like me. And I believe that human stories are part of that equation, and that's a knowledge source that we have not really captured very much, as it's been done for a lot of other historical events.
There's a great South Asian historian, David Gilmartin, who has argued that the way to tell the story of partition has been actually, or should be, to look at the multiple realities that partition generated. And I think that concept is really helpful, and it comes out very much in the kinds of work, the kinds of stories that the Gunita is collecting in the 1947 Partition Archive. I've collected a large collection of oral histories from Muslims who experienced partition, and tried to bring those voices to bear on the history of partition